Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
Now it's time for Backseat Mogul with R. Scott Bolton. He talks about showbiz because showbiz won't talk about him.
Showbiz is a cruel and shallow money trench, a long plastic hallway where thieves and pimps run free and good men die like dogs for no good reason. There's also a bad side.
This is the Backseat Mogul Show, live here on Rough Edge. I am R. Scott Bolton. I am the Backseat Mogul, and this is the show where we talk about show business. Sitting to my, I forgot to mirror my camera again. He's sitting over here, actually.
Hi.
Wait.
Hi.
Well, you're okay.
Oh, okay.
You're okay. So you're looking towards me, but I should have mirrored the camera so it looked like I was looking at you, which is something I don't want to do, but unfortunately something I have to do.
Well, look at the wall and look like you're looking at me.
That's what I was doing. Like,
oh, okay.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah.
We're going to start the show with the thing that most of you dread the most, and that is Johnny reading to you about the local theater we have here, because I have to do a test of something to make sure that we're doing okay here. So, Johnny, take it away.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry.
This is why I apologize in advance, folks.
Showing at our local theater, the Regency 6, also known as the Buenaventura 6, is still Barbie. Next, we have The Equalizer 3, and I still haven't seen Equalizer 2, which I want to see that before I see Equalizer 3. Also showing is Expendables 4, Sylvester Stallone, and Scotty's man crush,
Jason Statham.
There you go. I was waiting for you to throw it in.
No,
Jason
You're
Statham.
on your own, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I could picture him, and used to have a standee in here. It's Expendables 4. I'm looking forward to that one. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. I have not seen 1 and 2. I'm sorry. I just have no interest in it. But I know a lot of people do. The Nun 2. Haven't seen The Nun 1. I mean, I had enough of nuns when I was in Catholic school. So, anyway.
There is a great joke from a Cheech and Chong movie that we will not repeat on this family-oriented show. But if you get a chance, check it out. It's very fun.
Also showing is Sound of Freedom. Now,
next, move on. I don't want to hear about that overrated piece of garbage. Move on.
I haven't seen it. Honestly, I'm not so sure what
There's
it's about.
There's a lot being said about that movie that is that are falsehoods, and I don't like the whole concept that got caught up in. So we're moving on from that one.
No, that's fine.
I know. So move on. So why are you hesitating? Move on. Let's go.
Because I'm trying to, and you keep. That's better. Now these are what is the first run theater now. It's no longer the inexpensive. It is a whole lot less than what most first run theaters are. But it is not the $3 theater that we got used to, especially even before the pandemic. So, but they are open 7 days a week. Coming is my favorite all-time movie, which will be this Wednesday, To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes, I posted that on the Facebook page today. Now, let me interrupt you real quickly here. I haven't seen Sound of Freedom either. It might be a fine movie. I don't like the fervor that's all developed behind it. It's a little frightening to me. Go on, move ahead.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll talk about that later, whether we're on or off air.
Probably off air, yes.
Okay. Opening also on Wednesday, Paw Patrol, the Mighty Movie. It's a kid's cartoon show.
Really? I never would have guessed.
Yeah. Well, Paw Patrol could also
How
be.
How many Paw Patrol movies have there been now? There's been a number of them.
Probably. A movie I know you'll like, Corpse Bride, is coming.
I love it. I like it. I do like it. It's a great movie.
Shaun of the Dead.
Also a great movie.
Now, this is not the original. This is what's coming up. What I'm getting ready to say is a sequel, or it could be a prequel. I haven't seen it, so I'm not quite sure. The Exorcist, Believer. Now, the first time I saw The Exorcist on the big screen was at a drive-in, and I had borrowed my buddy's 63 Chevy, took my date to it, and she found my buddy's binoculars in the back seat. And she wanted to look at the screen at about the time that the little girl throws up.
Reagan was her name.
Reagan. And I thought my date was going to get sick just from that, because she saw it through the binoculars, and I was laughing.
There's been a ton of Exorcist movies, and I'm not a fan of many of them. The first one, according to my buddy John Larson, was one of the most perfect movies ever made. I can't disagree with that. It's a pretty good movie. And I also liked Exorcist 3, which most people hate, but I think they looked at it in the wrong light. Exorcist 2, nobody talks about it, doesn't exist. Then there's been dozens of sequels and knockoffs since then, and that's another one of those. My favorite so far has been the Russell Crowe, The Pope's Exorcist, which is stupid as
I haven't seen that one.
But it's Russell Crowe playing an exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Sign me up. All right, let's roll this up. So we got
coming. We got The Shining, which I'm not sure if it's the original.
It
would have to be the original.
Stanley Kubrick's film based on Stephen King's book. Stephen King hates that film.
Now, and this is the theatrical release, not the TV version.
Well, because you're not going to sit in the theater for 6 hours watching the TV. I mean, everybody's going to see the Twilight marathon, so who knows? Okay,
now this is for the Swifties out there. Opening October 11th will be Taylor Swift, the Eras tour.
Already, the sales are crazy through the roof. The pre-sales, it's going to be a monster. Thank you. Taylor Swift is a force of nature these days. I'm talking literally. You've heard that her fans have caused seismic effects in the towns that they play because they're so loud. That's an impressive performance from somebody like her. Good for you, Taylor. I'm on your side 100%. 1, because I admire what you do. 2, because if I wasn't, Andrea would kick my ass.
Okay, now October 11th, that is what they call the special engagement. It will appear. No, so there's another special engagement of the same movie, the Taylor Swift movie, will be October 18th. So they're doing it 2 times.
Well, they probably sold out the first one like that.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
All right, Johnny, remember, wrap this up.
The Addams Family is coming. The movie, which movie it is, I'm not sure. The Lost Boys, I really enjoyed that movie.
You know what I hate about this town? great laugh.
Oh, he was so good. Little Shop of Horrors. The Thing, which has got to be the Kurt Russell.
The John Carpenter film.
Yeah.
One of the greatest horror films ever made.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
One of the greatest lines of all time. You gotta be effing kidding. Great stuff.
2001: A Space Odyssey. Now, this is a movie. The next one I'm going to say. Boy.
I have a theory about 2001: A Space Odyssey, and my son disagrees with me. I am convinced that Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke got together and said, "Hey, you know all these film scholars? Yeah. You know how they're always telling us what our movies are really about, even though we're the ones who made the movies? Yeah. Let's make a movie that doesn't make any sense at all. And let's see them tell us what it's about." I think that's what it is. My son says I'm crazy. It's very obvious. I'm sticking with my theory, folks.
Yeah. Citizen Kane.
One of the greatest movies ever.
Oh, yeah. Now that should be November 8th. And then we got Trolls Band Together, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Really?
Did you ever see Citizen Kane 2? Citizen Kane 2?
I didn't know there was Citizen Kane 2.
Okay, we're done. I said wrap it up 10 minutes ago. We still
there's only 2 more. The Sting,
20 minutes later,
which was a really good movie.
Best Picture of the Year.
And Full Metal Jacket.
Another great movie.
Okay, are we still testing, or is the test over?
Test has been over for 15 minutes. Just trying to get you to shut up.
Oh.
Doesn't work real well.
Okay.
Remember 15 minutes ago I said, okay, time to wrap this up?
I did leave one off, so
see.
In my I'm not going to say it.
It was the Reader's Digest version, apparently, because he left one off.
I'm not going to say what it was because I hated it.
Oh, let's hear it then.
Let's put it this way. Vampires do not shimmer in daylight.
Okay, you got to mention that. That's one of the big. That's going to sell out, and they're going to be people in theater for 10 hours.
All right, it's the Twilight Saga Marathon.
Every one of the Twilight movies, back to back. That's a lot of popcorn.
All 5 films on the big screen, and I know who's going to be there.
Oh, Andrea can't wait. She can't wait.
Okay,
right.
That's it.
So we're getting on to the meat of our story today, of our show today. This is right here. I'm holding it up so you can all see it. The Giant Gila Monster on Blu-ray. Now, there's a lot of things I want to talk about this this release. It's actually out September 25th. So that's next week. You can buy this in stores there. Johnny, have you seen the Giant Gila Monster?
Oh, God, years ago. I mean,
you probably saw it in theaters.
Yeah, probably.
It was out in 1959.
Oh, yeah, I was a little kid.
And it has a lot of the elements that you love. It's got rock and roll. It's got hot rods. And it's got a big giant lizard walking around. Now, the story is, as you can imagine, these kids and their hot rods are riding around town, and they get into trouble sometimes. So the sheriff, he knows they're just kids messing around, but there's some people who say they're not. Then one of the kids goes missing. It happens to be the most powerful man in the town. His kid's the one's missing. He doesn't think the sheriff's doing enough to find out what's missing. So the sheriff kind of gets the kids to help him out, and they go out to find out what's going on. Well, meanwhile, a gas truck gets run over. Some more people drunk gets cut off the road, and it's all by this giant thing with black and white stripes. That's really all they can remember. Well, of course, they say pink and white, but in the film, obviously, it's black and white because it's black and white film. So what do you think that is, Johnny? What do you think's running around knocking cars off the street and stuff?
I would say Godzilla.
It's the Giant Gila Monster.
Does it look like Godzilla?
It does not. It looks exactly like a Gila Monster, and I'm glad you said that because there's a reason it looks like a Gila Monster, because it is a Gila Monster. They've taken in miniaturized sets, 1959 style, so they're a little rough, but then they just let the Gila Monster run around and go through the sets and do his thing. Now, here's the interesting part about this. Gila Monsters are cold-blooded, right?
Yes, very much.
How fast do most cold-blooded creatures move?
Slow.
Very slow, very slow. So the Gila Monster is crawling around very slow, but still trains run into him. The gas truck, as I said, runs into him. A hot rod runs into him because, he's just been living his life down there in the gully and finally decided to come out and see what's up. And he ends up running into people's cars and other stuff. Here's the bad part about this Gila Monster, though. What's his favorite food?
People.
Oh, it's people. He loves him some people. So they got to put a stop to this Giant Gila Monster, and they do so in spectacular fashion. You know what? It's a fun movie no matter how you look at it. Yeah, it's big and dumb, and the acting is wooden, and it's one of those movies from that era that of the monster movie era. What's fun about it is there's no nuclear power or anything that made him get that big. Guess what made him get that big? It's just that nobody knows how big he got. He was living in the gully and just kept growing. So.
Okay, now this was 1959?
1959, yes.
And who's in it?
Let's find out. Oh, sorry, I got it up here. Looking in the wrong place. Return of the... nope, sorry. Wrong movie. Giant Gila Monster stars Don Sullivan, Fred Graham, and Lisa Simone.
Oh, okie doke.
And as I said, also stars the Giant Gila Monster. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun, and it's not something. Don't expect the monsters you see today where they're all fast and furious and CGI. It's just a big lumbering giant Gila monster, but entertaining enough. Here's the best part about this whole thing, though. This film is a new release by a company called Film Masters, and Film Masters takes exquisite prints. I don't know where they get their prints, and they release perfect versions of these movies. These movies are absolutely gorgeous. You'll never see a better print of the Giant Gila Monster than you're seeing here. The video quality is crisp and beautiful. The sound quality is crisp and beautiful. They even give you the option of watching the full widescreen, the theatrical release, or the little 4x3 TV release. So you can choose which version of that you want to watch. There's some audio commentary in it as well as some the trailers and radio spots. So it's really a cool little package, especially for fans of those old monster movies, which I happen to be. I haven't seen the Giant Gila Monster since I was a kid. Yeah, but the difference is you watch it in the theater, I watched it on TV.
No, that's true too.
And that's the other thing, folks. It is also available on TV. You can find this movie there. I don't think it's the Film Masters version because this Film Masters version is perfect. But even if it is, You got to go to the streamers to find it. Here you can buy it, and you've got it on your shelf whenever you want to.
Now, I don't know if the original runtime was 1 hour and 14 minutes, which
See,
really...
This is why you shut the screen down.
Well, no,
because John starts talking about stuff he shouldn't talk about.
No, the reason why I
I
bring
was
this
going
up...
to get to that, which means you spoiled it. But go ahead.
Okay, the reason why I brought that up is probably the reason why you were going to bring it up. So I'll let you go ahead, and then I'll butt in like I normally do.
I was just going to say it's 74 minutes long, so you're... No, it's not. It's longer than that. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 74. Oh, the other one's shorter. That's why. 74 minutes long. Yeah, you're in and out of there fast, so it doesn't take a lot of your time. It doesn't need to. It's just, let's watch the Gila Monster knock around some cars, and then let's kill them and go on to the next movie.
Well, what I was going to say is, and because it just really I was totally wrong with my thinking.
As usual.
Yeah, well, the only difference is I admit it this time. The movies from back then were like anywhere from, like, this one's 70 some odd minutes to 88 minutes long. So just about an hour and a half. And when I saw...
like Gone with the Wind?
Yeah, well, that was like 13 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
So when I saw that up there on the screen, I saw 1 hour and 14 minutes. I was thinking, man, that's a long movie. I was wrong.
No, you're definitely wrong. Yeah, it's a very short movie. As a matter of fact, it comes the box comes with 2 movies, so you get a double feature for the price of one. The second movie is the Killer Shrews, which runs 69 minutes.
Oh, really?
So you could watch the Giant Gila Monster and the Killer Shrews and still get the last half hour of Oppenheimer in there. So see, it saves you some time.
Now, for those who don't know, Gila is spelled with a G, not an H. So if you look at it, you might say, oh, the Giant Gila Monster. No, it's the Giant Gila Monster.
Thank you for joining us on this Moment with Grammar.
You're welcome.
Backseat Mogul Show. Giant Gila Monster. A lot of fun. And again, you're not going to find a better print anywhere. Never. And buy the Blu-ray, put it on your shelf. You can watch it whenever you want to. You don't have to find what streamer it's on. Make sure you subscribe. Just do it. As I said, in the box also is the other movie, The Killer Shrews. The Killer Shrews is also from 1959. It runs 69 minutes. And The Killer Shrews is a little more of what you would expect from the era. It is about a sea captain delivering supplies to an island. When he gets there, he finds a team of scientists. And they're trying to get him off the island as fast as they can because it's going to get dark soon. And he doesn't understand why. Well, then he finds out because there's killer shrews out there. Now, Johnny, I don't know if you know this or not, but shrews are some of the most ferocious and vicious creatures known to this planet. They have to eat twice their body weight a day just to stay alive, which means they're hungry little boogers.
Oh, yeah.
So this sea captain goes into the island. He finds out that the scientists have been doing experiments there, and the scientists the science has to do with these with breeding these shrews, and they've turned them into killer shrews. Sure enough, when the sun sets, the killer shrews come out, and they're about the size of a medium-sized dog. And they're running around, they're trying to get to these people because what do they like to eat too?
People.
Well, they like to eat anything because they're on an island where their food supply is limited and it's starting to run out. So behind this fence happens to be a place where they can get some fresh meat. So they want in there badly.
It's a buffet.
So the shrews are trying to get. Now I mentioned they're about the size of a medium dog, right? Which is a good thing because guess what the killer shrews are in the movie? They're dogs with costumes on. They have dogs with little. It's like the dog is wearing a costume, so he looks like and then they release the 4 or 5 of them, and they run around. They bark and they play and they look vicious, but they're just dogs. And you can tell from the instant they run out that those are dogs. But they do have the costumes on, so you can suspend your disbelief and get past that point. It's funny because I believe it was the director who mentions inside there's a nice little pamphlet inside this as well. He says that he had a hard time not cracking up every time they shot a dog scene because he said there were these dogs wearing a shag carpet out there pretending to be killer shrews. They also use hand puppets, though. And the hand puppets, although very stiff and very unexpressive, they're pretty scary because they got teeth that are like needles, man. They're pretty long teeth. So overall, most people say they prefer the Giant Gila Monster. I'm going to say I prefer the Killer Shrews. The Giant Gila Monster was fun. It's got the little rock and roll in it, and it's got the hot rods and what have you, and that lumbering Giant Gila Monster. But the Killer Shrews is a little more action-packed, a little more going on. And
it's got the puppies.
And there's actually it's got the puppies. There's actually some interaction between the characters that's interesting as well. There's one of the scientists on the island is in love with the head scientist's daughter. And then the sea captain comes along, and all of a sudden he's jealous because he's getting all of her attention.
I got to know, is Russell Johnson one of the scientists?
No.
Or is he the sea captain?
Why would you even think that he was in this?
Because
he's a scientist on Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, well, he's a professor on Gilligan's Island. So before Gilligan's Island, he did some dramatic roles.
And he did a couple of these kind of movies, too.
He even did, I think, one or two, I think they were Twilight Zones.
Okay.
Or was it Outer Limits?
I don't know. James Best, Ingrid Goud, and Ken Curtis all star in the Killer Shrews. And
James Best and King Curtis.
Ken Curtis.
Ken Curtis, otherwise known as Festus.
That's right. That's right. He's actually in the Giant Gila Monster as well. He does a voiceover apparently in one point.
And James Best was Sheriff Roscoe B. Coltrane.
See, I didn't know these things. I recognize the names, but I would never been able to pull that out.
And that was from the.
There's the Killer Shrews. Look now, see, there. I'm showing Johnny the video on the screen, and there's the dogs in the shag carpeting, and there's you can see the hand puppet as well. I know this isn't good. That's for you
funny.
Guys out there, but anyway, those are the Killer Shrews.
What's the release date on that one?
1959.
Oh, they're both 59.
Both 1959. Both come in this Blu-ray set. Again, it looks like this. For those of you who are interested in it, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Some of the bonus features include a 35 millimeter trailer, a commentary by Larry Stroth, James Gannis, Sean Sheridan, and Matt Weinhold. All of them are from the Monster Party podcast. There's archival interview with leading actor Don Sullivan. There's a documentary about Ray Kellogg, who's the producer of these films, and a collection of original radio spots and commentary on the Killer Shrews by author Jason A. Ney. Now, here's what I think is really interesting. 1959. So how old are these movies? I'll do the math for you. They're 64 years old.
I was going to say, not as old as me.
64 years old, these movies are. And just recently, their impact has been felt to this day, obviously by the fact that they're being released here on Blu-ray again, but also because of this movie from 2012 called Return of the Killer Shrews. And the cast includes, read that first, that third cast member there, Johnny?
Actually, I can't see it.
All right, I'll do it for you. John Schneider, Bruce Davison, Academy Award-winning Bruce Davison, I should say, and James Best.
Oh, is he reprising
his role as the sea captain, I'm sure. I haven't seen this one yet.
You know what's funny about that? Earlier when I said the Dukes of Hazzard, John Schneider, James Best.
That's right. So anyway, if you want to see the sequel, which is called Return of the Killer Shrews or Mega Rats, depending on where you find it, that is out there. I was going to watch it just to see, and it's $3.99. I'm not paying $3.99.
I was going to say, do they stream Blu-ray movies?
I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, they stream the same definition or better, but they don't stream Blu-ray because that's a disc.
Well, no, I understand that, but with what they're streaming, is it could it be from a Blu-ray disc that they're streaming?
No, it's from a computer file, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure it's from a computer file.
So this one is called...
But if you go to the theater, like the special nights they have at the local theater, those are sometimes from Blu-rays, yes.
Okay, now what's the date on this one?
This is, again, third time, 1959.
No, the return.
Oh, that one. That's true. Sorry. 2012. 84 minutes, so you get a little bit more for your money. Here's the funniest thing. The original Killer Shrews, the audience rating on Internet Movie Database is 4.1. The Return of the Killer Shrews, 3.0. So the sequel is apparently worse than the original. Anyway, again, I highly recommend this. Film Masters is a company you want to follow. I started following them on Facebook to make sure I don't miss any of their future releases. Because again, the Killer Shrews, like the Giant Gila Monster, you don't get better quality. The quality is utterly amazing. The film, the image on that screen is perfect. It's perfect. There's no problem with it whatsoever. The sound is great. I didn't know that prints of this quality existed. So it's really nice that they're digging them up and finding them.
When you first started talking about the Killer Shrews, I don't know why, but the movie I started thinking of was Night of the Lepus.
I remember Night of the Lepus as well.
The giant bunnies.
Did you remember the advertising for that movie?
No, I don't. I'm sure if I saw it, I'd go, oh, yeah.
See, I do because I was a kid and I had just started going to theaters often. The advertisement came out and it was Night of the Lepus. They'll kill you. They'll spread your blood all through the forest. It was like really, vicious and horrible, but they never showed you what a lepus was. So the whole time you're waiting, what is a lepus? I as a kid, I couldn't wait to go to the theater and find out what a lepus is. You think I was a little disappointed when I found out it was a bunny?
It was not just a bunny. It's a big bunny.
It's a bunny. Giant lepus. It's a giant bunny.
What was and
it was the same thing, as a matter of fact, as the Giant Gila Monster, because they were just bunnies hopping around little tiny sets.
Well, what was the release date on that one?
Night of the Lepus was 1972.
God, was that night? And that was in color. That's right. It was in color.
Oh, yeah.
It had a couple of names that people would remember.
Oh, it sure did. Stuart Whitman, Janet Leigh, Rory Calhoun, DeForest Kelly.
Wow.
Remember his line from that movie? I'm a veterinarian, not a shotgun. No, he didn't say that.
And Paul Fix. People remember him from The Rifleman.
But notice the poster. Does it say anything about rabbits on there?
Nope.
Would that movie have done any business at all if it was Night of the Giant Rabbits?
Nope. No. Oh, maybe for kids. Oh, bunnies.
I don't know.
Now, if it said Night of the Bunnies, because of my young age, I would have thought, oh, girls. Like Playboy bunnies. Okay. Sorry. My bad.
There was another movie with Ray Milland. I thought it was called Frogs, but I can't find it now, so I don't know.
You said that was 74.
Oh, it is. Yeah. 72.
Oh, 72.
Frogs, also from 1972, was another one that was a lot of fun. The poster, if you notice here, Johnny, has a frog with a hand sticking out of its mouth.
I remember that.
And the tagline is, "Today the pond, tomorrow the world." And that one starred Ray Milland, Sam Elliott, and Joan Van Ark. And that wasn't very good either. But you know what? I would love to see that movie again. These days, I would love to watch those movies again. I wanted to see Giant Gila Monster and Killer Shrews again. You
know who would have loved that movie? And I'm sure she watched it. Debbie. She was a big Sam Elliott fan.
I wonder what Sam Elliott looked like in that movie.
Young.
That's not him.
That's Ray Milland.
Yeah. We're watching the trailer right now for Frogs. There's a frog jumping at Joan Van Ark.
That's not Joan Van Ark.
Who is it?
I don't know, but that's not Joan Van Ark.
She's very familiar.
Joan Van Ark was blonde.
Oh, it's not Joan Van Ark. It's jumping at her anyway.
Could be Mae Mercer or Miss Erg.
Anyway, some woman is getting jumped at by a frog. So anyway, that's the news about that. So the Blu-ray version of the Giant Gila Monster out now from Film Masters. Again, follow them. I follow them on Facebook. They must have a website. Let's see if we can find it. Well, I can't find it. But anyway,
just do Film Masters. Don't do the Blu-ray. Just Film Masters.
Well, but I wanted to find the Blu-ray.
Oh, well, no, I know that. Maybe if you go to just.
I was looking to see a list if there were more, because they're doing a lot of new releases here. But here we go. So the Giant Gila Monster with the Killer Shrews is being released next week. From the pilot slate, the 1959 horror movie Beast from the Haunted Cave will release on October 24th, and the 1934 The Scarlet Letter on November 21st. Very excited about both those releases because, again, they will be the best possible prints that you can get from this movie. It says here, upon each release, films will be restored with new 4K scans of 35 millimeter with original film elements, offered in original aspect ratios, while being presented on region-free discs with DTS-HD sound and Dolby AC3's sound. Johnny found the website, which is, strangely enough, filmmasters.com. So check them out. You'll be glad that you did. Filmmasters.com. Do they have a newsletter? Because I want to subscribe right now. I bet they do. Oh, yeah, very nice. Check them out, filmmasters.com. And again, if you're a collector, or you're somebody who doesn't want to have to hunt down everything on a streaming network, then do so. By the way, it looks like they are offering it on streaming as well, so you can find those things there.
Nice.
Looks like they're also going to be releasing The Terror from 1963, Jack Nicholson and
I remember that
Roger
one.
Corman.
And that was color.
I don't think the original was. I think it was later.
Oh, maybe it was colorized.
Colorized, yes.
But I remember that. It wasn't Boris Karloff also in there?
Yes.
Yeah. The Terror.
There's a whole bunch of news.
Oh, wait, that says 1920. Oh, there's 63. It must be the 63 one.
The first horror film was 1950. Oh, the first color horror film was The Curse of Frankenstein from 1957. Interesting, which means that, that's right along the time frame there. All right, so what do we got here in other news? Have you?
Oh, I know what we got.
This is, see, you would think that his mother would have taught him that it's rude to interrupt. Now, my mother taught me that, but I just ignore it. But you would think that he'd been taught that.
Yeah, but
go ahead, John.
My mom's gone now, so. Oh, God. Yes, ma'am. If you have Amazon.com, or I should say Amazon Prime, and you go to Amazon.com, look up R. Scott Bolton, author, books. You can find his latest, Death in the Mogul. And considering Halloween is right around the corner, get Neath.
Neath, the story of a haunting, perfect for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And my favorite, which could also be a Halloween movie, is Dead Dick. It does have demons.
What is Dead Dick? You know, I wrote that book, and it's got private detective, it's got sci-fi, it's got fantasy, it's got action adventure. It needs its own genre.
It's got a Harley.
It's got a couple of Harleys.
It's got a bad, you know what? Should I clean that up? Dodge.
Yeah. It's got a nun with a machine gun.
On a Harley.
On a Harley.
Yeah. And it does have demons, like I said.
And it's a little girl who might save the world.
Yeah. Oh, it's got a little cherub.
Little cherub.
Yeah.
Named Buster.
Yeah. And it's got Las Vegas.
It does.
And it's got Lake Doris, which isn't really a lake anymore.
No. It's a lake hole.
Yeah. It's got Ventura County.
Yeah. Ghost Town, Calico Ghost Town.
Yeah. I've been to Calico.
So,
I've been to the Calico mine. Been in that mine.
Really? And it didn't collapse?
Well, with what we were doing, I'm surprised it didn't.
What are you doing?
Shooting.
That's brilliant.
And I don't mean.
Let's go into a 100-year-old mine and shoot bullets.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But
see, I'd like to say I've never done anything that stupid.
Well,
I'd like to say it, but I can't say it. So
me and my two buddies, we wanted to go deer hunting, and
we're gonna have to hear the story now.
Oh, that's real quick. And we found out by a CHP officer who we stopped to help because of an accident. It was late at night or early morning, whatever it was. It was dark 30.
The CHP officer said, "Hey, you know what you should do? Go deep into a 100-year-old mine and shoot bullets."
Yes, actually. No, that's when we found out that deer season is not open. Oh, okay. So we decided we were going to go to Calico. We lived in Orange County at that time, Orange County, California.
How long is this story?
It's getting really. So anyway, we go up there. We did go into the mine exploring, and then we also decided we were going to climb. There's a little gully, and two of us went up one side, and my buddy Mark went up the other side, and we had our 22s with us, and we started shooting each other. Well, not at each other, but it was above each other's heads, so the rocks would fall down on them. And
this story keeps getting stupider and stupider.
Well, there was a family, I guess.
You started shooting at them?
No. They were walking in the bottom of the gully, and they saw us shooting at each other. They were, they're killing each other. They ran off, and we were laughing so much, and we got out of there before the police showed up.
This is why when they contacted me and said, John has applied for a carry permit, would you approve of him carrying one? I said, no. So my God, if he didn't know, give anybody else a gun, but not him.
Anyway, on Amazon.com, R. Scott Bolton books, and there is a plethora of them.
8 of them.
Starting with the H.B. Fisk series.
3 of those.
jumping to the don't tell me Bruce Heller series.
That's right. 3 of those.
And of course, there's the Dead Dick.
1 of those.
And that Dead Dick's name is
Richard King.
And then we jump to Neath.
Neath. Story of a Haunting. Takes place here in Ventura County.
And then we
Howling
have
Ghosts.
and then actually I kind of did them out of order because you had a Bruce Heller.
Yeah, but you mentioned them all 3.
Yeah, but that was after.
Yeah.
One of them came after.
That's
Neath.
the current book, Death and the Mogul.
Oh, well, okay.
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward to the Heads in the Bowling Bag.
Bowling bag in the back seat.
And I can't wait till this one comes out. I was fortunate enough to do one of the what are we called? Proofreaders.
Oh, quality control.
Yes. And that would be don't tell me Miller and Breeze.
That's correct.
Yeah, that was a fun one to
Maybe
read.
next year. Maybe fall of next year we'll have Miller and Breeze. Because
And-
I'm going to have more time to write starting January.
I got to tell you, you got to get this book when it comes out because it does have a little surprise at the end. It's like, ooh, I liked it.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, Johnny. So you can also go to rscottbolton.com and read about these books
And
as well.
and one of the characters in that book, I would say, as far as I'm concerned, is fashioned after me.
It was.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be happy about it.
Well, I just wish I had that car.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Anyway, so getting back to the news and stuff.
Oh, wait, I wasn't finished. Order these
Yeah,
books
it is.
on Amazon, and if you have Amazon Prime, you're going to get free shipping. You come by this studio, Scotty will autograph it for you.
And there might be some Cyber Monday and Black Friday sales coming. So watch for those because I just read that we can do something with our books for those days. So I might be doing that. So keep your eye open for those days as well.
And if you're in the Santa Paula area, go to Bank of Books on Main Street, and you might find 1 or 2, possibly 3, maybe even more of the different R. Scott Bolton books.
They're there on the shelves there, folks. All right. Can we get back to the news now?
Sure,
Thank
go ahead.
goodness. Did you see the meme that came out where it showed a picture of Richard Simmons on one side and a picture of Pauly Shore on the other? And the poster said, if they make a movie about Richard Simmons, Pauly Shore needs to play him.
No, I haven't seen that one.
All right. So that was pretty funny. You laughed and whatever, And then Pauly Shore got into it. And he said, I'm willing to play Richard Simmons in a movie. Folks, let's get this movie going. So since then, he's posted a couple of other things, including a video where he was doing his performance as Richard Simmons, jumping around, doing exercises and stuff, and telling his fans to please get to the studios. Tell the movie people that we need to make a movie about Richard Simmons and that Pauly Shore should star as Richard Simmons. That's not going to happen. First of all, would they make a movie about Richard Simmons?
I don't even know if he's still alive.
He is. Yeah, he's still
okay.
alive. But would they make a movie about him? He was a superstar at one point.
Yeah.
So maybe, but he kind of faded away, I believe, on his own design. Mm-hmm. He wanted to just get away from the business, so he faded away. There's been people, I guess, lesser popular that got biopics, but I don't know. I can't think of any right off the top of my head. So first of all, would they make a movie about Richard Simmons? I don't know. I think that's a little iffy. Then would they cast Pauly Shore? He's not exactly a box office draw. They did the Weird Al Yankovic movie, and they cast Daniel Radcliffe as...
Oh, he's a box office draw.
Exactly. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I do love Pauly's energy and Pauly's... I'm not the hugest Pauly Shore fan, by the way.
Same here.
I was in a room with him at a party once, and let's just say he was having a wonderful time. And the reason he was having a wonderful time is because it was a Penthouse party.
Ooh.
And Penthouse magazine party. And Pauly was very popular that evening. Me, not so much. But I got like 4 free rum and Coke, so I was okay.
And some great eye candy.
Yes. It was kind of odd, though, because you walked into that room where they were having the party, and there were monitors all around the entire perimeter of the ceiling. And they were all showing hardcore porn. It's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. But yes, there were some beautiful women there, and I was by myself, so it was a little odd. But I was watching Polly, and Polly was having a good time. Anyway, I don't think that they're going to make a movie because Pauly Shore is going to star it. I could be dead wrong, but it would be, you know what? It would be funny if that happened because of this.
Yeah, I'm convinced the only reason Pauly Shore got as big as he was because of his mother. And I think didn't his mother own one of the comedy places?
Comedy store, yeah.
Comedy store, yeah.
I don't think that's the case. I think that helped. But I think that for a while, at least, Pauly's character was very popular. People liked that kind of.
I never cared for him.
Stoner kind of weird guy. Yeah, you don't have to, because the box office proved otherwise.
Well, it's like
the box office proves that now, but it proved otherwise then.
It's like Russell Brand. I have never been a fan of his. I don't get his comedy.
I don't either. I've never been a big Russell Brand fan. And honestly, the Pauly Shore thing never really clicked with me either. I mean, I enjoyed some of the movies that he did. You know, they were kind of entertaining, and he's been really good in at least one movie. I mean, really good. So it's like he does have the chops if he gets the right character and can pull them out. But I don't think they're going to be making a Richard Simmons movie with Pauly Shore in the lead.
If they
did,
if they were to make a movie about, I just had it. I need to take some type of supplements to help.
Or you should remember that don't bring it up unless you know what it is. That's the rule.
Yeah, well,
it's like a lawyer. Does a lawyer ever ask a question he doesn't know the answer to?
That's true.
Yeah. Does a podcaster ever bring up something that he doesn't remember? No, he don't.
Okay. Williams.
John Williams.
No.
Treat Williams.
No.
Lisa Williams.
No.
I don't know.
Mark.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Oh God, his first name escaped me. If they were to make a movie about Robin Williams, who would you pick to play Robin Williams?
Oh, that is such a tough part. Who can play that part? Here's the problem. There's never been anybody like Robin Williams, and there never will be anybody like Robin.
The thing is, he was so off the cuff. He was so you could give him a script and he might follow a couple of the words from it. That was my take on it. What is the word? He would ad-lib so well that it would be hard to find someone to write a script. How would you write a script about someone? Who's that? Oh, wait a minute.
This is an actor named Jamie Costa, who has done a performance as Robin Williams in a movie. What movie was it?
That's interesting.
Jamie Costa posted a video on his social media page as he played the role of Robin Williams for an alleged screen test.
Oh.
So we don't know if that actually happened or if that was even real, but apparently he was amazing.
Well, because when I first looked at it, I said, oh, that looks like.
He does look like Robin.
Yeah. Both those pictures as Mark.
This is apparently the scene that he was playing is when he found out that John Belushi had died.
Mm-hmm.
And
because they were good friends.
Robin Williams said that was one of the things that made him go sober, because he always thought that John Belushi was indestructible, and then he watched drugs destroy him, and that knocked his socks off and knocked some sense into him. So,
but it'd be interesting to see a movie about him.
Robin Williams biopic. Yeah, I can see that.
But this guy, just judging from, I haven't seen the screen test, but because when we first started talking about it, you had mentioned Daniel Radcliffe, and I wonder if Daniel Radcliffe could pull it off. That guy did.
Daniel Radcliffe is way better than people give him credit for, and they give him a lot of credit, but he is a really good actor. Check out this guy. Who's that, John?
Oh, looks like Charles Bronson.
Yeah, it's not. It's Robert Bronzi. Robert Bronzi is a Hungarian actor who's done a number of movies about in the Charles Bronson style. And as you can see, he's a dead ringer.
Yeah.
He's a dead freaking ringer for Charles Bronson.
Charles Bronson was one of my favorite actors. He did a TV show in black and white years ago. I think it was called Man in the Camera.
Who did?
Charles Bronson.
Oh.
I think it was called Man with a Camera. And obviously it was black and white. And yeah,
that's an old movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think I watched that.
But he is one of those actors. He could play just about anything, from a Western cowboy to a spy, or a hitman, the mechanic. God, that was a great movie.
Yeah, you know, the movie that I loved with him best, and I finally was able to buy it from on sale through one of the companies that released it, was From Noon Till 3. I loved From Noon Till 3. Did you ever see From Noon Till 3?
I'm not sure.
Plays a bank robber who goes to town and robs a bank, but they're waiting for him. So his team gets all shot up. Well, he escapes on his horseback, of course, and rides back to this ranch where Jill Ireland is there alone. Her husband has passed away. She's running this ranch on her own. So he's going to hold up there and basically keep her kidnapped until he can make his escape. Well, things unfold as it goes through, and eventually they fall in love. And it's a romance with a little bit of Western flavor to it, a lot of Western flavor to it. And one of my favorite Charles Bronson movies. So if you get a chance to see that, check it out. That guy has made at least 4 movies, probably more, using his Charles Bronson face. And I'm telling you, even watching the movie, you're just blown away by how much he looks like Bronson. Here's the bad news. He don't sound like Bronson. He doesn't have that droll style that Bronson did so well, that The Simpsons parodied perfectly. Remember when they went to Bronson, Missouri? And
it's actually Branson.
No, it was Bronson.
Bronson,
Missouri, because it was
Simpsons. Yeah.
Yes, because it was Charles Bronson. Everybody was like Charles Bronson. And the mom says to the little baby, the mom says, "Stop chewing on that rattle." And the baby says, "No dice, Ma." Something like that. Very good.
The actor who does the, some people say he should be the next James Bond. He does the, where the alien becomes part of him and it likes to eat people.
Once again, John brings up something he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah. He did a movie, and his character's name was Charlie Bronson. And for some reason, I saw that listed on, it was either Netflix or whatever. And I thought it was about Charles Bronson. No, it wasn't. It was about, I believe it was about a real guy named Charlie Bronson, who was a very tough bad guy.
Tom Hardy's great.
Oh, he is.
And I love the Venom movies. Both of them were just a
Venom.
blast. They were just a blast. This guy has done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies, all in the style of Bronson as far as I know. I'm sorry, 8 movies. But here's the ratings for them. On a scale of 1 to 10, From Hell to the Wild West, 3. Death Kiss, 4.5. Hombres G con los brazos en cruz, 4.6. Once Upon a Time in Deadwood, 2.9. Cry Havoc, 3.4. Escape from Death Block 13, 4.4. The Gardener, 3.7. Exorcist Vengeance, 2.9. Not great movies, apparently. I have seen Death Kiss, by the way, and it was tolerable, but it wasn't very good.
Well, looking at that, Hombres G con los brazos en cruz. His character's name is Charles Bronson. Or no. Was that his character's name? Or
well, that was a music video. So that, but he played Charles Bronson in the music video.
Okay, I get it now. But I like the way it says Charles Bronson as Robert Kovacs. Now, what's his real name?
His name is Robert Bronson.
But they called him Robert. That's funny. Robert Bronzy.
I wonder why they called him. Maybe his name was Robert Kovacs and he changed it. Let's see if we can find that video because that would be fun to see. So, folks, look it up. Hombres G is the artist. The track is Con los brazos en cruz.
En cruz.
And that's it for this week's Backseat Mogul Show. Thank you all for listening. As always, thank you for watching. You've got to get used to the fact that we're on video now. We have 3 followers on Rough Edge YouTube.
3.
So that's big numbers for us. And, of course, the audio podcast is still doing well. We'll see you again next week. Don't see any reason we won't. And until then, wanted to end with this. It looks like the Writers Guild strike might be coming to an end.
Oh, that would be
nice. They had some last-minute talks last night, and things seem to be going well. They took a break over the weekend, but hopefully Monday we'll be able to get the writer strike put aside. Then we just have to get the actor strike put aside, and we'll get back into production because I know everybody is very hungry to get back into production. The other thing I wanted to mention briefly is I watched the first episode of The Continental last night.
Oh, how was it?
It's okay.
Oh.
It's got the same kind of style that John Wick has. Because if those of you don't know, the Continental is the hotel that John Wick goes to in the John Wick movies. This is kind of an origin story, not about the whole Continental concept, but about the people who are about the Continental. Winston, for example, is the main one. It takes place in the late 60s. And so it's got the style. It looks great. It's gritty and gross and crisp and beautiful at the same time, which is hard to do. The action sequences are okay. They're not John Wick quality. They're not John Wick level. That's one of the things that the John Wick director says about Keanu Reeves is he's got a photographic memory, so he memorizes those fight scenes quickly, and then they can practice them until they're perfect. So this not as good as that. The other thing that doesn't have the charm. Here's the big difference about the Continental and the John Wick movies. The Continental has got a lot of violent, brutal action, gunplay, and all that other stuff. But it's all for each other's benefit. You know what I mean? They're trying to get something. John Wick's just avenging his dog, and his car. So and you know, trying to defend his wife's game, and that charm makes those movies so much better. It's not here. It's not in it. Mel Gibson is the leader of the Continental in this as well.
Oh, really?
And he's very good. It's good to see Mel back on screen. But it just, you know, it's like it was a chore to get through. Now I'm hoping, because it's a 3-night event. The second episode is tonight. I'm hoping, at least I think it is. I hope it's not 3 weeks in a row. I thought it said 3-night event. Anyway, hopefully it gets better, because if not, it's watchable, you know. But it doesn't have it doesn't have the charm of John Wick or the charm of Keanu Reeves. Let's just be honest about it.
What network's it on?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't realize that.
And there's a reason for that, because I'm lying to you. It's not Amazon Prime. It's Peacock. I went to Amazon Prime looking for it last night. Couldn't find it because it's actually on Peacock. So, don't look for it on Amazon Prime. Anyway, strike almost over. That's good news. Continental, you know, it's watchable, but it's just doesn't have that John Wick magic to it.
I got to tell you, with the way things are going, especially in this country, we're going to be known as the United States of strikes. I mean, we've had so many strikes.
There's so many strikes here, and there's never any strikes overseas. You never see any strikes. Don't say something like that, John.
No.
That was a silly comment.
But no, what I said was...
You said especially here in the United States.
No, I didn't say
yes,
especially.
You did. Yes, you did. I'll play it back for you later.
Well, I did say, but I was referring to what's going on in this country. Yeah, there's strikes in other countries.
Strikes are happening.
But what I'm saying is, in this country, it just seems like every time we turn around, there's somebody else coming up to strike. Like now we have the UAW who are on strike and are expanding, which means the price of your brand new cars are going to go up, which also means there's going to be less new cars coming out because nobody's making them, which means used car prices are going to start to go up again.
John, that's why it's called a strike. It's supposed to have an impact, to make people think, to maybe pay them what they're worth. That's why I love that comment about the writer's strike. Oh, you know, it's not just the writers who are on strike. The people behind the scenes are suffering. The people who do the craft things, the restaurants are. Yeah, that's why it's called a strike. It's supposed to affect everybody. It's supposed to get everybody's attention. That shouldn't shock you. You don't break down because the craft services guy isn't working. It's supposed to hurt him too. It's a strike. So that's the way it's supposed to work. And you may not like it. That's too bad. That's the way it works. A strike is made to get your attention. And has it got their attention?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, that's the way
now,
it works.
Unfortunately, when I was doing movie production, I wanted to get into the union so bad. And it never happened. Because, they had so many hoops you had to jump through. The only way that you could get in quickly is if you happen to be at that time, if you happen to be working on a project that went union, then you're automatically in. And it was about anywhere from a month to 3 months after I got injured. The crew I normally worked with were on a shoot. union.
Yeah.
And but good for them.
I've always wanted a Writers Guild card. I'm probably never going to get one, but just to have a Writers Guild card would be cool. And I write mostly books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've written a number of screenplays. None of them got produced, but I've written a number of them. But I write books. So if the writers go on strike, I would support them, but I would keep writing books because that's not covered by the Writers
Now let me
Guild.
ask you this, and this has to do with the books that you write.
Mm-hmm.
Before you did that, you had written a few screenplays.
Yeah.
I don't know how many, but that's why I said a few.
A dozen maybe.
Okay. So what is stopping you from taking one of your books and doing a screenplay for it?
My experience during those 5 years when I was enmeshed in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that again. I don't want the hassle. If I had an agent who was doing that for me, it might be one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to go out and pitch anymore. I can't.
I didn't say pitch. I didn't say pitch.
Well, then why would I bother writing a screenplay? Because it's not about the work. It's about the pitch. I'm not going to pitch anymore. I'm done pitching. So that's all. That's all there is to it.
The people that you knew that you were connected with through Bert, are any of them still around?
Well, Jonathan Brownlee's still around.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Jonathan Brownlee. He and I are Facebook buddies, and he's got films that he's working on and things like that. And he made a very interesting point about the strikes, and I think he was probably right. He thinks that the studios were waiting for the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild strikes to get old because it gave them the opportunity to pause some really high level partnerships they have with stars. Now I don't know who the stars were, but Brad Pitt has a partnership with a studio. The other big stars have partnerships with studios, but this gave the studios a chance to pause them and then maybe renegotiate them the other side. So they were waiting for that to happen before they started agreeing to the writers and the actors' terms. He says that time is now. And sure enough, he said that like 3 days ago. Sure enough, this weekend they had progress on the talks. So I think he might have made a valid point about that.
Is Jonathan still up in Canada or is he down here?
He's in Texas.
Oh, wow.
He's in Texas, yeah.
Yeah. I remember because whenever that either Bert would want to call and talk to him, sometimes if you weren't available to put the call through, I would try and contact him. And then, or when he would call in and I would answer the phone, he was I remember Jonathan as a really great guy.
Yeah, Jonathan is a really great guy. And as you can see, he's produced a number of films. 3 Days in August, The Standoff at Sparrow Creek, Decoding Annie Parker. And he was in an episode of Seinfeld.
As a boyfriend.
He was an actor first before he did all that stuff.
Then his TV shows.
Yeah, he did a number of television shows, golf show and other things. Anyway, great guy, Jonathan Brownlee. If you see his name on something, check it out. He was recently the executive producer on Puppet Master, The Littlest Reich. Fun stuff. His recent movie was Hit Squad with an S. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to have to find some of these things. Jonathan, if you're listening out there, brother, I miss you, man. You're good people. So anyway, that's it for this week's show.
Enjoy our show. Look for our podcast, and that's it. And go to your corner movie theater.
Better yet, go to the Grape. We'll see you next week, folks.
Goodbye.
Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.